Alrighty, folks. Last round we did that. This round, well, first I want to pull the lid off. I want to paint the inside to get it sort of ready so we can start attempting this whole vinyl thing. But I think what I'm going to do is actually get started or try to get this framework done so this top works. The plan is I got to make 2 more of these bows. I want to redesign these bars, the struts and all that jazz. Like, it seems to work. We just need to make stuff better and that it can bolt in and do everything it's supposed to, and then design some kind of a track system up in the front. That would be completely ideal. But like I say, overall I like everything. It's just, it's all done with washers and whatnot. Now we do have proper parts to do things. So got there, we got a few Heims. I don't know how these are all going to work. I think I just have 2 of these. The plan with those was to do that cross link I was talking about. So anyways, somewhere here I got a couple bars of conduit. I've been doing a little bit of electrical, so I kind of stole out of my supply, but that's okay. Like I said, I've mostly needed 2 more. I'd like to try to do the latching. The track system would be ideal. Then we can try to figure out how to start covering this thing. So loosely, that's our plan. So I guess let's get started. Well, that was a long time coming. So we're gonna let that dry for a few days, I guess. That's kind of how this paint system works. I gotta take my brush and touch up or lather out a few of the runs everywhere there, but you're not gonna see it because I think what I'm gonna do is just glue like a Mexican blanket or do something like that inside just to give it some depth or make it look finished. Let's put it that way. Anyways, we're coming back over to these. I think my plan is going to be, I'm going to rebuild these arms. And I was just checking out how these things work. And this thing could mount to one of these arms fine, you know, and do the pivot. Up here I was looking and it would just make it really big and awkward if we did that same setup. So I think I'm going to make this one the opposite. I'm going to make a mount on here to zappity zap this thing on, just off a tang. Then we can bolt it on. And then we'll just do, like bolt this to a new arm that we're going to make. So I'm thinking I'm just going to make it out of, is it just as simple as a piece of angle iron? Let me drill a hole. I was going to cut it on the table, but I don't know if I have to go to that extreme. All we got to do is drill 2 holes on that side, 1 hole on that side, and depending on the thickness of it, we'll end up having a hole, or we'll end up putting that mount on it. I just think I talked myself out of making this way more complicated than it needed to be. But the question is, do I have any angle iron? It doesn't look like I have it up there. And then we got a little stash over in this corner, but there's no way I'm going to have 2 3-foot chunks. I have, well, okay, maybe we are going to cut it on the table. I have like a piece right here, and that's really thick, overly thick. Plasma table it is. I think I got enough length on that piece that maybe I can actually get all of these bits sorted out right off the hop here. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll slash it so it's very easy to bend, and then we'll stitch it up a little bit, and at least get these upright arms figured out. I have to add a cross link to it somehow. I'm trying to do it all in one piece, but this may not work for me. I might have to rethink some stuff. Because I'm trying to make it where I do the mount where it's got these 2 holes in the bottom, it's got the single hole on top, and then it kind of comes down for this part, but we have a second crossbar we got to make yet, and that one's got to go from here into here somehow, and I'd like to put that on right away, but I don't know. I don't know where I am putting said thing yet, because that one's going to be one of these dealios. I don't think I need very much, but it's got to go to the center to stop this top from having play like this, side to side. Like a panhard bar is basically what we got to make. I know my top sits pretty low. I guess if I did it around this vicinity, I'd be fine. If I did this one and then we made a mount coming off the side, then I can do that little Jaime joint going up into there. Because I think it has to, it all has to wobble a little bit. So when this goes up and down, it needs a little bit of swivel play in it, as far as like twisting motion anyways. All right, we got to do a few basic measurements for what I think I got to do. I'm going to bring this and I'm going to make a simple tab with 2 bolts that I can bolt this thing on up here. And now that I'm looking at this, it actually does need to come off of here. Interesting. Okay, let's start with this thing. I'm going to do very simple drawings for all of this stuff. It's going to be that with 2 holes in it, and I just got to get the distance I need to be away done. So as long as it's 1 inch away, that's pretty simple. Now, this bracket, I'm pretty sure I drew this and it needs to be like 3 feet. Yeah, 3 feet is plenty. So this one's got to go out. We're basically building a set of, we're basically building an angle iron. That's kind of what's going to happen here, but I just know the overall dimension is supposed to be 3 foot. And then we'll figure these out after, as long as that's done. So now from the hole in top to this one, I need a tab to come out, and that is 10 inches. So from here to there, we need a tab, and that is 10 inches. 10 inches. It's an inch high. And it has a hole at whatever it is here. At about 11/16. This tab, this hole, from here to there, 11/16 an inch. I don't know what the metric of that is, but I'll find it out. Have to look it up. Okay, I think that's good enough. I think on the top part I can probably just make a hole. So that one's going to be up. Just trying to think through how I'm doing it. I think I got it. I'm not sure. It all depends which way I fold this, because I could screw this up pretty easy. And then this one I want to make like a mount that goes from here to here to whatever this is going to be. So this will be like my panhard, which I guess can come off that same, if that one's up. This one I think I'm going to make as a separate tab, because, oh, maybe both of these I'm going to make as a separate tab. As much as I want to make it, it'll take away from the strength if I make this a fold-up tab. Oh no, I could add to there. The bottom one wouldn't work though. So I'm thinking the angle's going to fold that way. All right, enough babble. Let's draw this and I'll show you what I'm thinking. So this is my drawing. Hopefully this will make sense to me between now and when I start drawing it on the table. We'll find out. Well, here's where we're at. And I can tell you already that I screwed up. Well, some of it's salvageable. I got that good. What did I goof? I don't know how I screwed up my measurements on these holes. So you have to do a couple of these brackets over again. I wasn't going to redo these because that's a lot of material. The only thing I'm a little bummed with is because this is that steel that had those random holes in it. Then we have like a little knockout up there and there, which I thought I was going to miss it, but I guess not. And then somehow, I don't know how I screwed up, but well, you know, those things happen. I'm supposed to have the one hole right here, and look where the other, like a hole out. Doesn't make any sense. So anyways, I'm going to drill these because, oh, maybe because that was supposed to be centered like that. I don't know now. Got to see what I did wrong. I know these were going to be up here because this is going to go to the top so that thing can swivel. And then this one was going to get bolted onto the bottom. I'm pretty sure that's right. I'll put one bolt in here just to see if I did screw this up or if I'm really going to have to redo this. I'm not sure. Survey says, hot, hot. Some gloves on. See how out to lunch we are here. Technically this one's going to be just below here, but and this thing's not going to want to stay up. And hopefully I'm not using my tripod to do that. Okay. Take these off. Whoop. Give me a second. I gotta undo this. I already feel I did something wrong. Oh, is that supposed to be underneath? Is this supposed to be on the other side? Hold on, I'll be right back. Sort of feel I know what I did wrong here. Snug this up. Sort of feel everything was supposed to be backwards. I feel this should have been here. This is supposed to go there. And this, although it's still kind of not the way I wanted it, it's supposed to be there. I feel this wasn't supposed to have so much tension on it. We're going to try to do both sides and just see if this thing works. Feel as though something is off here. Well, still works. Though it has to go that way, but I can fix that with when I mount this pillow block up here. I don't like how this can twist. If you had a double pillow bearing, it wouldn't be a problem, but we'll see. Just don't want it gouging up the paint. Well, I call that a success-ish. I'm going to recut these mounts. We're going to move this whole top. I'm going to get it aligned while it's down. And then I'll zap them on here. And then, because what happens right now is when this top goes down with these new bars on there, everything works fine. I would have rathered the roundy bit was where it's supposed to be, but this is not sitting up as far as it's supposed to go. But because this stuff's all stationary, when I cut this off, we can move this to where it's supposed to be, and then we'll weld that bracket that I got that's screwed up, but it's supposed to hold one of these pillow bearings. And then it's going to get bolted to the top here. So instead of it being here, we might go back a little bit, and that'll shove everything, and then we'll zap it, and then this thing, a bolt's going to go through and hold everything together. And then we have a nice smooth operation for this. Okay, I'm going to cut 2 of those. We're going to see how that goes. I cut a bunch of tabs because I figured that these, well, I kind of cut the brackets the same side to side, but I figured I could bolt this underneath here, and then we can have this swinging up to this other bar that I'm supposed to have in here. Anyways, first things first, this is what I made, and somehow I screwed up on my measurement. I don't know how on earth I did it. I was doing it right here. These should be okay. I cut 2 of these because I didn't know on the other bar, I don't know why I cut 2, I only need 1. Whether this would be far enough off or not. So anyways, we got these. Let's cut a couple of these, zap them on, and see how everything works. Yeah, 100%. So where was we? I was having some camera problems here, and well, I didn't actually document this quite right. Kind of happened. Well, some of you folks are interested in my camera gear. For the most part, I use this particular camera, which is just I use all DJI products. That's the one, and I had a similar one that I did my walk and talk, and then I kind of went to this one, which has a gimbal on it. The quality of the video is so much better with this, honestly. So I was just trying to do a little bit of everything and anything with this camera, see it all in one, but then I forget to switch it back, which is why I always use 2 cameras. I use, like, that one does my time-lapsey stuff, and then when I do the walk and talk, I grab this camera. But some people don't like it when the camera does the little spin when I go one way or the other. I'll try to make a habit of not doing that. It's just, I lose my train of thought when I gotta push a button and do stuff. Anyways, like, I like this one because it's really clear, like a high-end dollar camera kind of thing. I mean, not that this thing's very cheap, but anyways, that's kind of what I do there. Okay, so what I was actually trying to explain, then I realized it was all stuck on time-lapsey, was I made these braces. I was a little worried that the top wasn't going to fit in there, but anyways, this dried enough. We dropped it in, and it fits. It's all good. I'm happy with everything. It needs some tweaking yet. these are here. I'm going to slot these to pull it away a little bit. What I'm noticing is the strut rod up here is putting a lot of pressure and making these pillow bearings kind of twist. So I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to weld it over here. That should just equalize everything. I don't know, there's like probably prettier ways to do this. This upper brace in the end could have been smaller, but I'm not going to worry myself with it. It's totally fine, and nobody's really going to see it. Like, it's going to be like here when I want to do something, they're there, and then whatever. When we pop the top, it's just, you know, it's a non-visual. It's not something that's ever going to come on and off. Anyways, that's it, and that's my plan to change that. What I want to do yet here is I want to run the two beams, make 2 more of these so I can figure out that little panhard bar thing that I want to make, and hopefully that stops all the side-to-side play. I do want to still do some kind of a track up here, just so we're not just gouging our material into the bedside. I was just going to put a stainless strip and let it just groove, and then here just have a hook with a hole. I may still go that route. I don't know. We'll kind of see how this all works out. But I mean, overall, I'm pretty happy with all of this. You know, we could have gone tighter to the bedside, but the intent of the bed is just to hold the top, and then, you know, we can throw some bags or do some stuff back here, some luggage or whatever. So I guess my next round, or next bout here is, I'm going to try, well, I'll take these off. We don't need these right now. I'm going to make that second. I got 2 more beams. I'm going to make those, and we want to add a couple little braces down the middle. That way we're kind of getting it ready to, I'm not sure what I'm going to put on it yet. I'm thinking I'm going to do like some fiberglass or do something. While I've been toying with that a little bit, I've been farting around, so I kind of built this box. I'm by no means a carpenter, but because of this whole little casting dealio, I'm kind of wanting to get into it a little better here and try to improvise and build some stuff. I want to build some center caps for the truck. You can buy them, but they always have a flat face for an emblem or something, which is kind of annoying. I actually would rather them be like little bullets, and they bolt on, so it's kind of like a spider cappy deal. So we could do that, and I'd probably just paint it the same colors as the wheel. Being aluminum, I could maybe polish it. So I'm looking at some options on there. I might just print a bullet, and then I'll make this out of steel or something, then I can kind of put the two together. I don't have any good drawing software that I can figure this stuff out. I mean, maybe I can, I don't know. I'll have to play around and see what I got. I'm not very good at the CAD thing. I'm much better with the plasma table, so if I did a 2D and just cut the bottom, that'd be good, and then I can just print a simple bullet. That'd be pretty easy, but trying to put all the parts together is kind of not my forte. Anyways, back at this. So I have this I'm going to be able to just like kind of set up and look off to the side or bench or do something with it. But the idea of this is, like, when I'm not using it, I can store my stove in here. We have one box, but then I made this cat top where I can make a mold and we can kind of pack it and do something. That's my idea. Then this side we have our sand, or like the whole thing's kind of the sand, but then we can kind of, you know, nicely do our stuff. We don't lose all of our sand. If we got excess, we can just throw it back into the box. It's kind of like a, I don't know, a little workstation. And then when I'm done with it, you kind of close her up and done. Then I can use the forklift here and whoop, we'll pop it out of the way somewhere. Anyways, there's going to be a lot more of this coming up, I plan anyways. Okay, so back at plan, or task at hand. Let's make some more quick braces, and we're going to build that cross link. First test. Whoa, fail. That pulls hard. Okay. Cool. That did not work anywhere near what I thought I was going to. So this is sitting here. Let's just do a simple, we'll unthread it. Clearly my calculations are off. Ouch. Dang, man. Hot. Okay. So by me going up there, this thing gets inches short. Boo. This thing has to be that it doesn't move. Maybe I gotta go all the way down here. Let's try something for the hay of it. How long? How bad does that go? I bet you it's gonna get shorter. Oh, heck yeah. Maybe the only way to be able to do it is to put double pillow bearings in here. What if I just welded that Heim joint in there? Would that be enough to stop everything? Oh, not big enough. Golly. Let's snug all this up and just see. Now it's just that bottom. Maybe we got it. I don't know. Well, that's a bother. Nothing works the way I want. It's like a crazy zany bar I need on the side, but my thought process didn't work the way I wanted. This needs to tie to that side. It's about the only way to it. How do you do it without hitting the top? Well, the struggle is real, so I'm not going to concern myself much about this. I had the idea that I could just go bing, bang, and everything was just going to work out just fine. And, well, that's not how it works because everything stretches out. I thought of maybe just getting another one of these strut rods so that when it goes down, it does it. But I think it's going to end up, while I'm doing the motions, it's going to force the top one way or the other. What's happening is when I go up, this distance, I didn't really think this through, gets way bigger. So, I don't know. I can't give you a good reference, but it's, if you look at the distance from here to there, say, if we did this thing to this rod, this weld kind of lines up over there. But when we put the top down, this part down here, and the weld now is like an inch too long. So, yeah. And then I tried different, like I went from here to here, and that was just silly. That just doesn't do anything. That's just like me zapping the top there. It's this bar needs to somehow fasten to here. And, well, so then I tried doing this. I added some nuts, bolts. I actually tightened everything up. It's a little better, but it still has this. And the play is in the pillow bearings here. You can see. Well, ignore the nut there on the thing, but so I think my fix is going to be to double up these pillow bearings. That way it can't roll inside of itself. That's about the only thing I can think of. I need it all to move. Like a guy could zap and put onto the nut, but then you can't get things apart and yada, yada, yada. There's enough room on here that I can stack two of these side by side. If they're staggered out and we have lots of room on the back side, that's not an issue. I think that will fix this because it's just, everything just wants to play. We got this movement in here with this setup. So I have to get rid of that. So I might order another set of these because then I can double stack them on both sides somehow. And hopefully that would fix that. So I'm not going to concern myself too much because I think to fix that is all just within this bar, whether I have to remake it or do whatever I got to do. So that part should be okay. What I want to do is just add a few braces going in between here. And just to make all of this a little more rigid. And then I guess I have to try to figure out this portion where we're going to go gun into here. Like I say, I had a bunch of ideas. I'm wondering if I should do something similar to my hood latch. I don't want to, but I feel that's what I should do. Just have some kind of a track system that goes in and then it'll finally lock into place. So when my hood goes on, the pins fall here and it just slides and locks so it can't come up. I feel I don't need a very elaborate thing for this. Like it could be made out of, like, I don't know, I wouldn't say chicken wire, but some thin 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch rod might work. Or I'll just cut it into table. I just don't know what to do for the bearing part. Somebody sent me a design to 3D print, and it might work, but it's bigger than my printer could do. And I don't know. I'll try to build it on the table and just see what I can do. I'm just gonna go find. I thought I bought a bunch of bearings. Oh, I did buy a bunch of bearings. So we'll start with that and see if I can make a track for the bearing to go into. And hey. Maybe we can make this work. Oh, I know what I could do. I could double the bearings up. That'll give me a little step or a bump in the middle. And if I made it with some 10 gauge, it should fall and lock into there once I figure out where I put all my bearings. They're here somewhere. All right, we'll get started and I'll take you folks along. We are very close to the design. I had it together. It sort of works, but it's not 100%. It seems to be I got it a little too tight. I don't know if you can see. It goes to the end. If you see on the top lip, or if I can flip you over here, this top lip, I think it has to come, I need a nice chute for it to sit in, but I think the angle needs to come up. So we kind of built this rigmarole here. I don't know if I'm just going to grind this, but I'll probably just cut 2 more, because what we're going to do is double these up, and then they're going to sit on either side of the bearings here. So I'll have one there and then one there. That's kind of the, on either side, and it'll kind of hug this thing, and it'll stop this from wobbling. Not that that's a big deal. We just need a track for it to go in. So, I mean, in the big picture, it kind of does what it's got to do, and it'll, once we get the sway out of this thing, this hits the tracks. It follows the tracks. It just doesn't want to lock in because it's too tight. It's either that or I lower the bottom. Well, maybe I'll do that. I'll just grind the bottom out so it kind of has a more of a even transition when it comes down. I kind of made it flat, but I should have made it flat longer. I think that's what I should have done. I'll try that. I'm going to gouge that out, and then we'll try it again, make sure it all works, and then I guess the way the design is well, I wasn't going to screw it, I was going to bolt it, so it's going to have another half that's going to come, and then we'll kind of zap some together so there's a bearing on either side of this plate, which will be the guide to hold everything. So overall, I'm pretty happy with it. It's working pretty good. I didn't have very much wire. I thought I had a lot more than I got. Or not wire, but mesh. Because the idea is I'm going to go zap this mesh down. That way we can start doing the foam work. I needed some of that for my little casting, little sander sifter thing, but I should have got a bigger roll to do all of this. So I'm kind of hooped there. Overall, this works. Like you have your bearings, they go up onto some stops. Unfortunately, no matter how much brainstorming I do, I can't figure out this side-to-side panhard thing that in my head made sense. I don't know what I did with that thing. It's over here. Anyways, I was trying different angles and doing stuff, but it needs to be down here to be able to work. So I was toying with ideas on a slide, but I was just making it way more complicated. I am certain that by the time I double up the pillow bearings, it's going to be stiff because then there's no, all the wiggle's going to be in the bolts and there won't be any wiggle, if that makes sense. It shouldn't be, hopefully. In the end, the thing's never going to be up, just kind of annoying when it dances around when you put it up, and then it just wants to free float in between whatever the stuff is here. So that's kind of annoying. So it doesn't quite line up single-handed here. It's a little hard getting back on the tracks, but anyways, it goes in. Well, hopefully this works here. Not having much luck. If you look over there, you'll see a little guide that I have, and then there's a bearing on it, and it kind of rolls until it gets into this shoe, to which then it'll lock itself down and it can't lift. So from here, we're completely locked in with our bearings. So top is locked down. We are good to go. What we have to do is still make up some kind of a latch and a pop. I want to be able to pull a cable, and I want this to pop up like a hood, and then we can kind of do our business. We're just really struggling with this side to side because this really throws everything off. So, like, I can get this all to work, but it's a little hit and miss in the front with the wobble. So I'm really hoping the double bearings are going to help me out here and fix some of my problems. Whether I have to, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I'm not going to let myself worry too much about it. It'll get there. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough wire to do the top on here. So I guess next time I'm going to have to do that. It's kind of late right now, and I think this thing's about run out. I did not get it anywhere near. We did get the bracing on. I added a few up in the front, like you've seen, just to add a little bit of strength. But the idea coming up is I'm going to put chicken wire over everything, and I might actually lay some fiberglass on it just to waterproof my foam and stuff. Because I don't anticipate that the inside of the bed is going to be watertight or nothing. Don't care, but we probably want to give our foam a good chance. And well, yeah, I'm hoping to at least get the fiberglass on, get the wire on. We got to work the latch. Hopefully the other bearings are in, and then we can kind of revamp these rails. Would be super nice, but again, the system works, so I'm hoping I can keep this nice and poofy. It's kind of flattened out in the back, and I'm not sure if I like that. Because you got a nice, everything's round, and then on the back, it would have to have such a weird hump, so maybe it's fine that I actually have it like it flattens out, and then as it comes up, it's going to start to dome. I don't know for sure yet. We'll see how that plays out. Everything looks pretty flat. I don't know really what I want. I'm kind of have to visualize it as I go. Like I have an idea, but I don't know the exact game plan how it's going to happen. Anyways, well, didn't get as far as I wanted, but we got a bunch done. That's all I can say. Well, I was hoping to get a little further, but we got some progress done on it. But I think my time's run out. Don't want to run these too long. I know some of you folks like them longer. I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place with the videos. But hey, as always, I want to thank you all for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Later.